My Jeep CJ can take yours anytime.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
2 legendary Jeeps. 1 epic showdown. One conquered muddy back roads in the deep south, while the other tore through prehistoric terrain. These aren't just Jeeps, they're icons. Vehicles that defined entire generations of film and TV. And today, here on the Model Car Vault, we're bringing them face to face at 1/18 scale to answer one question: which diecast Jeep reigns supreme? Born on the battlefields of World War II, the Jeep evolved into more than just a rugged vehicle. It became a symbol of freedom, adventure, and pure American grit. Over time, Jeep etched its place into pop culture, roaring across screens big and small. Jeeps have been produced by several diecast brands over the years, but today we're focusing on 2 that you wouldn't normally compare to each other. Why? Because no matter how different they are, they both belong amongst the most recognizable retro collectibles in Jeep history. Alright, so the first Jeep we have is Greenlight Artisan's Dixie Jeep, a 1979 CJ7 Golden Eagle. It's not officially licensed with the Dukes of Hazzard trademark, but let's be honest, we know it's Daisy's Jeep. It even features the same license plate as the show's Jeep. Known for going off-road to outrun the law, this Jeep became iconic in every chase scene it appeared in. And with Daisy Duke being a pop culture sex symbol of the era, it also showed that women could steal the scene and drive a Jeep just as hard as the boys. Released just a few years ago, Greenlight's diecast has now become a tough find thanks to collectors wanting to chase down a piece of Hazzard history. Then there's the Matchbox 118 version of the Jurassic Park Jeep, specifically Jeep number 29, a 1992 Jeep Wrangler YJ Sahara. It first appeared in the original Jurassic Park, touring the island with park founder John Hammond and the visiting inspector, making it the perfect vehicle you'd want to be in when it's time to outrun a T-Rex. This model is packaged under Jurassic World, where we see the same Jeep rediscovered decades later in an abandoned garage.
1992 Jeep Wrangler Sahara, sand beige.
Produced in limited numbers, it's become highly sought after by both Jeep collectors and Jurassic fans alike. Now it's tough to pick a winner based on nostalgia alone, so we won't. Instead, we're putting these 2 Jeeps head to head in a detailed comparison across 10 segments. We'll cover everything from accuracy to functionality, where each model can earn a total of 15 points. Stick around until the end to see which Jeep takes the crown in this diecast showdown.
Brought to you by the Jeep Corporation.
Alright, let's start with scale accuracy. The actual CJ7 Jeep measures about 148 inches long. Greenlight's Jeep is just over 8 inches, making it exactly 1/18 scale. The actual Sahara Jeep measures 153 inches. Matchbox Jeep comes in at 8.5 inches, so it's also spot on. 1 point for the Dixie Jeep and 1 point for the Jurassic Park Jeep. Next, wheels. Both Jeeps have accurate rims, rubber tires, and both roll smoothly. The Dixie Jeep has no tire branding, whereas the Jurassic Jeep adds detail with BF Goodrich lettering. The Dixie Jeep, half a point. The Jurassic Park Jeep, 1 point. Suspension. So neither Jeep has suspension, so no points here. Alright, here's a big segment, functionality. Collectors love opening features, so let's compare. The hood. The Dixie Jeep, sealed. Jurassic Jeep opens with working hood latches. Doors. The Dixie Jeep has removable doors, but only as part of the roof assembly. The Jurassic Jeep does have opening doors. Spare tire. The Dixie Jeep has a movable spare tire holder, whereas on the Jurassic Jeep, it's locked in place. The trunk. On the Dixie Jeep, the trunk opens after swinging out the spare tire. The Jurassic Jeep's trunk does not open. Lastly, steering. The Dixie Jeep has steerable front wheels, while the Jurassic Jeeps are locked, though oddly, the steering wheel does turn. So for functionality, the Dixie Jeep gets a 3.5, and the Jurassic Park Jeep gets 2.5. Let's talk accessories. The Dixie Jeep has an antenna and removable roof. The Jurassic Jeep, although we have an antenna base, there's no antenna and no removable roof. I wish it would have had a functional winch though. That would have been cool, but it doesn't. So Dixie Jeep 1, Jurassic Park Jeep 0. Now I want to hear from you. What's a must-have or deal breaker for you when you're shopping for a diecast car? Is it opening doors, steerable wheels, a detailed engine under the hood? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'm curious to know. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, we're halfway there and we're gonna get back into it. Literally, we're talking about interior. Interior realism is a big factor, especially for 118 collectors. The Dixie Jeep has some dash detail and variation, though my model had a crooked gauge panel. The Jurassic Jeep has very toy-like interior, molded in black plastic with barely noticeable blue seats, which should actually be green. It would have been nice to see more color here at least. I'll give the Dixie Jeep half a point here for offering at least a little more detail.
What seems to be the problem, sugar?
I think something bounced up into my undercarriage. Will you take a look?
Oh, ma'am, I'd be pleased to check your undercarriage.
Checking out Daisy Duke's undercarriage reveals Greenlight put some effort in giving collectors what they want, all around. More detail, more metal, good color variety, and defined components like this exhaust pipe. It's well executed overall. On the other hand, the Jurassic Park Jeep's undercarriage feels much more like a toy. It's mostly a solid plastic looking base with minimal definition or finishing. So no point here for the Jurassic Jeep. Now onto the engine. Though only one Jeep even gives us a chance to look. Like a lot of models from the Greenlight Artisan series, this Jeep's hood is completely sealed, so there's nothing to see. But the Jurassic Jeep's hood opens by undoing the latches, and while it doesn't boast much detail, it does feature the correct components in the right layout. That earns it a point for effort and access alone.
Woo! It works!
Alright, how about paint quality? The original Golden Eagle Jeep was finished in Olympic white. This model seems to be a little less white in comparison. Or maybe it's just me. But other than that, there's no noticeable rashes or imperfections. The Jurassic Jeep paint replicates that unique sand beige in a slightly matte and metallic finish. It's also been given a weathered look to reflect its Jurassic World appearance, which really just looks like patches of overspray in rust color, but it works. So both Jeeps aren't perfect, but still deserve full points here. Alright, for the final segment, we're going to look at decal accuracy. On Daisy's Jeep, we have the Dixie script on both sides of the hood, the large golden eagle on the hood, and the matching license plate. Interestingly, in some episodes, we see the Dixie decals on the doors with the original golden eagle decals on the hood instead. But Greenlight's version is the more common arrangement. For the Jurassic Park Jeep, it's got all the correct JP29 markings, the classic logo on the doors, the red striping is well placed, and it's got accurate license plates front and back. So overall, it's really well replicated. I'll give both Jeeps 2 full points here.
Go! 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 Go!
As budget-friendly diecast models, at least at their release, both Jeeps deliver impressive detail and do a solid job of representing their on-screen counterparts. Sure, we could do a deep dive and pick apart even more missing or inaccurate details, but let's not forget, even in the films or TV shows, these Jeeps appeared in slightly different forms depending on the scene, the stunt, or the camera angle. So there's really no such thing as a perfect, definitive version of each Jeep. That said, based on what we've covered, who comes out the winner? Well, if we tally the points, Greenlight's Dixie Jeep gets a total of 10.5 points, and the Jurassic Park Jeep from Matchbox gets 8.5 points. While Greenlight's Jeep edges ahead in functionality, accessories, and interior detail, Matchbox deserves some credit too. They don't typically make 118 diecasts. Matchbox is much more known for making the much smaller 164 diecasts. But even with its more toy-like feel, their Jurassic Jeep held its own against Greenlight's more detailed, collector-grade Jeep model. So that's how I scored them, but let me know if you would have scored these Jeeps differently and why. If you love seeing diecast comparisons like this, I've got lots more on my channel. And if you like and subscribe, you'll be the first to see what's coming next. Thanks for watching and see you next time on the Model Car Vault.